No. 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 Hello, everyone. I am Tessellating Hexagons, and I'm back with some more Spyro Year of the Dragon, and we're heading back to Fireworks Factory because this is the home of the last couple of eggs that we need before achieving completion, and just... Like, I'm sure I've mentioned already how I'm getting flashbacks to Cloud Temples because I do want to do this! Okay, as I've demonstrated before, there are a couple of ways you can get into this final mission. Unlocking Agent 9 is the easy... Excuse you? Excuse you! Unlocking Agent 9 is the easiest way, and I am not going in there without full health. But there are other ways, including using these boxes here to proxy jump. I'm not entirely sure how it's done, but it can be done. You sort of get launched vertically, and it's a fun time for all involved. And there's somewhere, just generally in this vicinity, I don't remember where offhand, where you can sort of glitch outside the level geometry, and as a direct consequence of that, you can sort of, wow, okay, bad. I'll go down here and heal because I'm just that incongruous, apparently. That's absolutely not what that word means. If you use that glitch to get outside level geometry, you can actually go inside this wall here, I believe, and there is in fact a room back there, and inside it is an extra life. It's... I believe I touched upon this previously. I thought it was somewhere else, or maybe I was thinking of another thing. There is just an extra life in there. They just didn't program in the breakable wall. But the room back there does still exist. You just need to geometry abuse your way to get back there. So, yeah. Proxy jump to get out of bounds. There's somewhere else you can glide to get out of bounds. Either way, you can use that to sneak into the Agent 9 bit, or you can fall down the hole and glide in just the right way to glitch above the door, and that counts as getting into the portal, or you can just unlock Agent 9 and we can walk straight through, and this sucks so much, and I do not want to do this, and yet here we are anyway.
Hey, Spyro! I'm helping a kid called Handle recover some secret rocket plans the sorcerer stole. You know, I'm always ready to kick some Rhinoc booty!
Sudden observation, we don't need the rocket plans anymore because we've already got to Midnight Mountain, which reminds me of in fact, you need to have gone to Midnight Mountain in order to get to this mission in the first place, unless you glitch. Okay, there's a life there, there's something else in here that can be done that results in a skill point. Don't do it right away, you would benefit from having access to heals, they're not very... Handle, explain.
Hi, Agent 9. Behind those doors are some pretty scary ninjas. I bet you could use your sharpshooter skills to take them out. Remember, press the circle button to shoot, and use L1 and R1 to dodge left and right.
This is not fun. The whole thing is first person. They are not very generous with heals in here, so you can strafe, that's fun. So yeah, there's an extra life there. There's a skill point accessible in this room, which just... like, it's slightly more forgiving than Dino Mines in that you actually can... like, you're given a chance to react, whereas, like, because in this one you can move... Pause, thank you. Like, you can move freely, therefore it's easier to avoid enemies. Like, you're not locked into losing health if an enemy takes a liking to you, because obviously in Dino Mines, you're sort of locked in place for each screen, so you can't avoid an enemy if they're trying to attack you. So, the best way to do this is to just come in from a distance, take out enemies, like, do unto them before they can do unto you. There are gems in here, so it's required for completion. There are eggs in here, so it's required. Like, it's very required for completion. Because it's first person, an enemy can sneak up from behind you out of nowhere. They can cling to the ceiling. It's just so not fun. This is why I left this to be the last required thing in the game that I fucked with, because this is kind of... Oh, hello. Oh, you're just gonna happen, apparently. You can also press triangle to go into, like, first-person view mode and like, sort of shoot... like, you exchange being able to move for being able to exactly control where the reticle is. And that's something that we would have benefited from in Dino Mines, because in Dino Mines we were perpetually stuck in you can't move your body, but you can move the reticle mode, whereas in this case it's the other way around. Well, no. You could choose to swap between the two at will. So yeah, this isn't fun, because there are enemies with projectiles, which luckily you can jump over, which is a nice touch, but broadly speaking, it's just... not a fun time. I am very much on edge, and it gets... Excuse you trying to shoot me through the wall. Who do you think you are? Fucking Larry McGee. Actually, that's a real person. I believe that was the person responsible for allowing me to get my degree in the first place, so I shouldn't take the name in vain. Thing is, in defeating these enemies, they do kind of spawn ad nauseam, because as you can sort of... oh yeah, L and R allows you to zoom in and out. There's a spawner in there, and we just sort of take that out if we're going to make any progress whatsoever, because at the moment they're just kind of... like, there's him over there running in the 90s in place, which is good for me, because I can just aim, but... like, excuse you, I'm sure I should have hit at least one of you there, but whatever. Perspective is fun. As long as you keep your wits about you, it shouldn't be that hard, but I saved this for its own episode also because the amount of care and precision that certainly I want to take in doing this kind of means that this takes longer than it has to, because I want to take it slow, take it easy. You're right on time, you're right in time for me. Anouk, she's a good performer. Did well at Eurovision. Good for her. Now, I'm sure there are people out there who could probably, like, get to the end of the level before the music even loops, and good for them. I'm not one of those people. Like, I spent a good couple of years dreading this mission. Like, I've said in the past how, like, I do love the original Spyro trilogy with all my heart and soul, and I intend to, you know, support the Reignited trilogy if it ever comes out on any console that I actually own, because I don't have an Xbox One, or a Switch, or a PS4, but I do have Steam. So if it comes out on Steam, I'll be all over it. But from when I Let's Played the first game, I knew that I would wait a year and play the second game, and then I'd wait another year and play the third game. Like, that was always my long-term plan. That applies to Sly Cooper, it applies to any other game I play in a sequence where I promise to play other games in that same series. I want to wait at least a year. And so ever since I started the Let's Play, ever since episode 1 of Spyro 1, I knew I would have to come and take on this mission, and I've been dreading it ever since. Also, there are more heals than I thought. Like, there are more of those fireflies that drop health. Which I'm glad, because goodness knows, this isn't easy. Like, at the moment, like, you'd be forgiven for thinking, oh, he's just standing in place, shooting, moving forward, standing in place, shooting, repeat ad nauseam. Like, I'm probably making it look not as bad as I remember it being, and to be fair, this isn't as bad as I remember it being, but it's still a high-tension situation that isn't fun because, like, if nothing else, when an enemy runs up to you and hits you with the, what's that, a bow, as in B-O, the feudal Japanese weapon, like, you really feel it, because, you know, like, the screen goes a bit red, and Agent 9 reacts, and it's just, I did not mean to do that. That's health soundly wasted. So, I will say, at the end of this corridor is the end of the mission. So, this could have gone a lot worse than it did. What I'm going to do is clear out this room, and then, like, care slightly less about taking damage just because we're in the final room. I do have a 5-year plan going forwards because... wait, who was it that had the 5-year plan? Was that Karl Marx, or... I don't know. Why is communism trendy? Anyway, this last room matters slightly less than the rest just because, you know, we're nearly at the end. That being said, before we get to the end, there's one last thing that I want to go and do, because if we just open this door here, we'll see that, oh, this isn't the last room after all. This level is slightly longer than I remember. Okay, I do recommend, if you play this game for yourself, absolutely do the Dino Mines mission before you do this one, so you have a greater appreciation for being able to fucking dodge enemy attacks. Because you can't do that in Dino Mines, you're locked in place. But in this one, you can move around freely, so if you take damage, it's more on you. And I think having that much more responsibility for the damage you take is part of the reason why I find this mission so stressful. And also, Agent 9 moves so slowly, and step aside so I don't kill the health. So, there's the end of the mission. I'm not going to grab that egg just yet. I'm just going to pop those open. And I'm actually going to go all the way back to the start of this area, so bear with. Okay, this is the first room right back at the very beginning. You saw the journey back. There's a red panic button up there, which you'll recognize from Agent 9's homeworld. Also, there's a 5 gem here, so I'm just going to grab this since we're here. But come all the way back here, and, like, you can get this at any point in the mission. I'm choosing to do it now, because, one, you get a skill point, which obviously heals you back up to full, but also, you get this funky deal. You might also have heard Agent 9 do a little bit of a giggle there. We have kind of Agent 9's ultimate weapon, but it only has 500 shots to it, so it can rapid fire. It's very useful. So why am I picking it up at the end of the mission? You'll see. Now, while we're walking back, I just want to mention, like, this mission is all about recovering rocket plans. And originally, as you can, like, if you put in a special code whilst paused, you can listen to all of the game's, like, voice files. And amongst those are some unused ones of the Professor in Evening Lake, and it's stored amongst the Evening Lake voice files, I believe, that talk about finding rocket plans. Like, originally, the Professor was supposed to be in Evening Lake, and, like, that was your motivation for building the rocket, rather than just, I'm gonna keep doing what I always do, and get people from homeworlds, and we'll just magically make a rocket. No, originally the Professor was also involved, and that was removed for whatever reason. Anyway, first of all, demonstration of, like, I'm lightly tapping the button, just to fire one bullet. That's 3 bullets wasted, just so I could get those gems, but here comes fun. You'll notice, by the way, that there are no other gems left in this area, and yet we still haven't reached all the gems of Fireworks Factory.
Help! It's a drive!
Yeah, part 2 of this mission. Everything respawned! This is why you're going to want to get the upgraded blaster. Because having that rapid fire can help. Also, everything respawned, including the enemy spawners, which means that you've got a fresh batch of gems to pick up. I believe I don't know what happens if you don't clear out all of the, if you don't clear all the enemy spawners from the first run, I don't know what happens with these spawners, because they all contain gems, all of which are required for 100%. The other thing that I'm not so sure of is, like, we saw that Handel was strapped to a time bomb. I don't know if this mission is timed. I could swear that it is. 420, by the way. I don't actually know. And I'm kind of paranoid about it, which is why I want to go all, gung-ho, get special blasters so I can literally go all guns blazing. Take the occasional bit of damage and give no shits. Just, also, that there are, in my defense, I guess is the word I'm looking for? There are more, I know there's an enemy behind me, by the way. There are more opportunities to heal in this mission than I thought. And this is another reason why I recommended leaving, being careful with how much heal you leave, because if you do try to just charge through, you will have a bad time. Like, enemies can gang up on you really quickly, and because you're stuck in first person, one could be right behind you and punching you in the face like that, and you won't even know. So, like that. Luckily, as I said, having the blaster helps. Unfortunately, that demonstration, yeah, let's call it demonstration, no, sort of did more harm than good, but this is all because I'm paranoid about running out of time. I jumped over that, you fuck. I'm gonna hit you through the wall because that's just a thing that I can do. Give me the health. Oh, good. Okay, that was really luckily timed. No, clearly that was me demonstrating how you can influence the RNG in order to get an extra life when you need a full heal. Well, not a full heal, it only brought us back up to yellow health, as you can tell by the 75%. So, this kind of pressure and stress, especially if there is a time limit involved, you could kind of tell why I don't like this mission and why I saved it for so late in the project. That being said, we're so close to being done, and yet this first room, remember how easy this first room was? Look at how overpopulated it is now. It's crazy, it's madness, and having... Oh, good. Thank you, I didn't even see you aiming. Again, having the rapid fire blaster very, very helps. So these should be the last 10 gems in Fireworks Factory, and then, yeah, that's it. We've got every single gem in the game so far, I think, so help me goodness. Friend! He blows up anyway.
Thanks for rescuing me. You better look after this egg before the Wynox try to blow that up too.
Pyromania is funny. So this was one of the last eggs I ever got in the game when I played it as a child, because, I don't know if I made that look easy, or boring, or what, but, having completed this, that's a massive achievement for me. So, let's take a moment to just look back in anger and appreciate our completedness in, well, for one, Fireworks Factory, you're doomed, you're still doomed, because it's inspired by Doom, but just, for the rest of the game, just look at all of this completion. And also, kind of worth noting that with Fireworks Factory, we did get a nice round 600, as opposed to the plus or minus variance that you can get depending on... Like, I spoke of dynamic difficulty before, we weren't affected by that, fortunately. Also, so we're completely done in Midnight Mountain apart from the final boss. You might think that's where I'm going next. It's not. Also, you can see how it kind of tracks on the right-hand side of the screen. Like, it tracks the characters we've collected from those various worlds, even though they don't appear. Like, you don't use them to open the Sorceress's Lair or anything, it's just... We've collected them, and then also there's the Sparks Worlds. We still have Bugbot Factory to go, but you can't do that until you've beaten the Sorceress, and then that's it. So, that's our completion rate so far. We're at 98%, we're missing 2 more eggs. Asterisk. So, let's go and, well, not deal with that. I have a couple other pieces of business to attend to, so I'll see you at the next instance of that.
You can go for the course record now if you want. Whenever you hop on a skateboard, a timer will start. Score as many points as you can until the timer expires or you wipe out. Good luck!
Yep, this is absolutely me just filling time instead of going to fight the final boss now that we've done everything else in the game that absolutely sucks, except not quite. There's still some other stuff that still remains to be done. And this is one of them. Well, this is one of 3 of them, because in this game, there are a sum total of, Oh, okay, that went badly. There's a sum total of 20 skill points. We currently have 17 of them. You can sort of see why I'm here then, because the remaining 3 skill points are located in Sunny Villa, Enchanted Towers, and Lost Fleet, and each one is for scoring the course record on the... Wow, this is not going well. This is why I wanted to post-commentate this bit, and then I chose not to for whatever reason. Also, I don't understand why the Twisted Lemons don't... Like, the first lemon never counts when you do a Twisted Lemon. Or whatever. If you get the course record on those 3 courses, then you get a skill point for each one. And that's why we're here. So bear with while I do this. This is why I wanted to post-commentate this. There we go, I got the skill point on my second attempt. And honestly, the trick here is as much as it is in the next 2 places, but you need to kind of figure out how to do the tricks that are named after the bosses of previous games. The Nasty Nork, the Crush, the Gulp, well, they have other names, I think, but you'll see. Basically, my understanding of it is it's some kind of combination of like a Twisted Lemon and a Twisted Lime where you have to swap between one and the other halfway through, and then like one of them's a Crush and the other one's a Gulp if you do it the other way around. I don't know. Now, the course record here is much higher because it's an actual skate park, so the options are much more open for getting actual points. Hunter, explain if you can.
I'm thinking you're ready to try some one-on-one competition. Want to try a freestyle competition for points?
I was hoping you'd explain the course record thing. I think if you take him on, that doesn't count as the going for the course record thing. But the thing is, I don't remember offhand if you can just do... Hang on.
Just come find me when you're ready for a good thrashing.
You say that as if I haven't beaten you before. I don't know if you need to redo that before it'll let you take on the course record, so we shall see. Yep, you need to fight Hunter a second time. Well, board fight. Skate fight. Bash him over the head with a skateboard. Oh, by the way, this is what it looks like if you collect an egg that you've already got. I can't believe it took until now for me to point that out. Also, fart joke. Of course, that would be the one that I show a second time. Okay, Hunter, maybe now you can explain.
You can go for the course record now if you want. Whenever you hop on a skateboard, a timer will start. Score as many points as you can until the timer expires or you wipe out. Good luck!
This makes it sound like, in this particular case, wiping out ends your run immediately. It didn't in Sunny Villa. I'm hoping it doesn't here either. Now, two things. One, you might have noticed in that previous sped up montage, which I left in for some reason, it isn't very good at recognizing twisted lemons. I don't know why. Because that's the key to getting the big points. Also, it turns out Crush and Gulper just left and right spins on half pipes, I think 4 or 5 times. Anyway, let's do this. Easy. Well, if you know how to do the twisted line. The big points here are for doing the triple towers, obviously that's an instant 1,000 points. The twisted lime 3 times, because that's worth 2,000, and then 1,000 if you do it a second time, and that's easily done with that ramp in the background there. And twisted lemon, same deal, if you can get it to recognize that you're doing it. Anyway, one more place to go, I'll see you there. Hey, would you look at that, it's White Whale Land, and I think, once again, I'm probably going to need to do the entire local mission first before it'll let me go for the course record, but yep, skill point number 20 is getting the course record here, and also having my Elgato freak out for a hot second. That was cool and good. Now, if you pause and input up, up, left, left, right, right, down, down, square, circle, square, you'll hear the sound of a gem being collected. That is one of the many cheats that are present in this game and the previous game. Well, this one's exclusive to this game, and, well, you'll see what it does when I go for the course record here.
Yes! Now that the Rhinox...
Oh, it actually did give me the skill point for that. Well, never mind, I guess this doesn't matter. So, yeah, I could just quit now. So as you will have seen, that cheat that I put in turns Spyro's skateboard into a squid. Now, that might seem really, really fucking random, and you'd be right, but there is a reason for it, weirdly enough. So, that skill point is locked in. It turns out that, well, I would say unlike in previous areas, I actually don't know. I don't think I beat the course record on my first try in Enchanted Towers, so it could be that if you beat Hunter in the one-on-one battle, and beat the course record in so doing, that's good enough to get the achievement. Skill point, same thing. Well, as it turns out here, I believe the course record is 1 minute 45. I showed that off the first time we were here. Well, if you beat that time in the initial race with the Rhinox, then you still get the skill point. And yeah, the cheat that I put in turns Spyro's board into a squid. The reason for that is actually tied to the skill points, funnily enough, and I'm just going to head back to Midnight Mountain because you know where we need to be next. So, I don't believe we can actually view this until I beat the Sorceress, but this game, much like with Gateway to Glimmer, does in fact track the skill points that you collect, and you can view them in the Atlas, except you can't. I believe it doesn't appear until you beat the Sorceress, but at some point, I believe it's on this screen, it'll say at the bottom, press either circle or square to jump to the skill points page, which I believe is the only way of accessing that. And that, like, I believe that's also true of, yeah, you can't even scroll right from the last level in the list. So I believe that was true of Gateway to Glimmer as well, so you will have already seen that. But the first set of things that you... Well, no. If you press square, I believe it shows you the skill points once we unlock the ability to view those. And so it shows you a list of... Every level has a skill point and a summary in the same way that it summarizes what you have to do for each egg, but instead with skill points. But all on one page, obviously. And I believe in some cases it'll show the hint but grayed out, and sometimes it'll just show you question marks, and in order to get the hint for the skill point, you need to collect other skill points, or something like that, I don't remember. Once you complete half of them, I believe, you can press circle instead, and it'll show you some epilogue images, which, in that case, it makes sense to not show you those until you've beaten the final boss, obviously. So, you can view those, and once you get all the skill points, you can view even more epilogue stuff, I think. This was also true of Gateway to Glimmer, as you saw in my Let's Play of that if you watched that. Thing is, I've never got all the skill points on a save file by myself before, so I don't know if there's more epilogue, or if it's like concept art or whatever, but that's stuff that we can view just as soon as we finish whatever the hell's through there, and I know what the hell's through there. It's not fun, but hey, I mean, I beat the fun times that were in this episode, so at this point I've done all but one of the ridiculously hard things in this game, and that's not the thing that I'm referring to when I say there's one more ridiculously hard thing. So, in the next episode of Spyro Year of the Dragon, we'll take on the Sorceress and win the universe, and then we'll be able to see the epilogue. So, I hope you'll join me for that. I've been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and oh my god, I'm so much better at this game than I thought I would be 2 years ago. Whew! See you next time for fun times.